Welcome everyone to another edition of the Comic Review. My name is Eric, and today we're going to be looking at part 6 of the Final Days of Superman in Action Comics number 22. This issue has a lot of things going on, just all over the place. We've got just some various character interactions with the Trinity. We've got some stuff going on with this new solar flare powered Superman, as well as some pretty big guest appearances from the Pre-Flashpoint Superman, as evidenced on the cover of this particular issue. So let's go ahead, dive into the issue, and see what happened. So the issue opens up with kind of almost the same type scene from the last part of the story in part 5, where Superman and Wonder Woman are flying through after they've left China in the last issue, with Batman following behind them in the Batwing. Some of Clark's inner monologue talking about how, much he's, in love with Wonder Woman, and, going to be sad to not be with her anymore, I guess, when he's dead and whatnot. During a conversational exchange between the two of them, Superman just has a complete power failure, essentially. Basically, we're at this point now finally getting into not just the weakened state of Superman, but the complete loss of power in Superman. The fact that what's going on with him is very quickly causing him to be dying at this point. Even the other parts of the story, with the way the other characters were talking, it's like, okay, well, we have some time. Let's see if we can get you checked out, healed up. Let's try to find a cure for whatever this is going on. But as this issue is clearly showing, he really did not have that much time left. It's at this point in the storyline, even though it's taken, let's see, we're in part 6, it's taken a month and a half our time to tell the story. This story is pretty much taking place over just a couple of days. So he really did not have that much time. I mean, to the point where when he lost his powers temporarily, he crashed into the top of the Batwing. So he's having to resume the rest of their trip with trying to figure out where the super flare powered imposter Superman is. He's having to hitch a ride in the Batwing and have Batman fly him around, which is, it's usually the opposite. If anything, Clark's flying Bruce around everywhere. This time it's Clark having to get a ride from his good old buddy. The story at this point shifts over to where we got left off in the last issue, where the imposter Superman is speaking with Lois Lane. She's trying to play it as cool as possible. In this situation, she does have a orange glowing Superman in front of her. But she's trying to get this person's trust during this time, to try to figure out what's going on, what's this all about, what is it exactly that you're trying to do, kind of thing, as he's talking about, what he's seeing as the imposter Superman, and this, that, and the other. He then does tell Lois that he has a secret, and he needs to show it to her in order for it to be believable. We then cut over to a scene in California where basically it's the residence of Clark and Lois White, better known as the Pre-Flashpoint Superman and Lois Lane from the previous line of continuity and whatnot that came over to the New 52 world during the fallout of Convergence with their young son, Jonathan. So the scene opens to Clark making dinner or Pre-Flashpoint Clark making dinner for his son. I just realized how difficult these reviews are starting to get when you have to juggle how many, quote, Supermen are on the table at this point. But Pre-Flashpoint Superman is making dinner or something for his son and whatnot, and then all of a sudden the fake Superman shows up with New 52 Lois. Flashpoint Superman also trying to keep it cool. He's got this glowing dude in his house, seemingly at this point breaking his cover, and he's inviting him to the table to have some dinner. Fake Superman then reveals what the secret is. He said it's sitting right in front of Lois at the table. He then starts to attack Pre-Flashpoint Clark, to which Pre-Flashpoint Clark responds the way any father would at this point, and he just fights back and does anything he can to protect his son. He engages fake Superman. At this point, back in the Batwing, New 52 Clark, his eyes start glowing green and everything. He feels like he's got like a rake in the back of his brain and whatnot. And Batman detects the solar flare energy in California, so they start heading over there to figure out what's going on to try to capture the fake Superman. New 52 Lois then is able to get Jonathan out of the house, which is just tore up at this point. It's obvious that this issue is going to take place prior to, or after, I'm sorry, Lois and Clark number 8, which isn't going to come out for a couple weeks at this point. Pretty sure that that's how the timeline's going to go. So if you didn't want to read any spoilers, then I guess wait for Lois and Clark number 8, then read this issue. But for the most part, that's where we are as far as timeline goes. I would say it's not a big deal. The Trinity arrives at the house, and New 52 Clark is now face to face with Pre-Flashpoint Clark, to the point where New 52 Clark is kind of wondering, okay, what's going on? And Pre-Flashpoint Clark is like, look, Kal-El, yeah, I know you got a lot of questions, but we got this other problem to deal with right now. And anybody who has not been reading Lois and Clark should know that Pre-Flashpoint Clark Kent knows of the existence, obviously, of Superman. He's been in hiding on the New 52 world. However, New 52 Clark has no idea that he had a double that's been living here for near a decade at this point in the timeline. So this is just completely a surprise to New 52 Clark. Flashpoint Clark is like, I know you got some questions, chill out. We got another problem to deal with, though. Let's go deal with that first, and then we'll get into it. Pre-Flashpoint, Lois shows up at the house. She's calling out for Jonathan and whatnot. Pre-Flashpoint Clark hears this. He runs, grabs his wife Lois and their son, and he gets them out of the battlefield. So he's flying off the board, so he's no longer in the issue. Then the Trinity is basically left there at this point with the fake Superman, who's basically thinking that the Justice League is there to offer him membership, that Batman and Wonder Woman are offering him membership in the Justice League, and he goes ahead and answers for them yes, and let's go ahead and kill the imposter, meaning the New 52 Clark. So that's where we're left at the end of this issue. So the next part of the story is going to go into Superman and Wonder Woman number 29. That's going to be the second part of this fight between well, I'm sticking with calling them the Super Friends versus the fake imposter Superman. So that will be in the next part of this, part 7. And then we're only 2 weeks, as of the printing of this issue, not the recording of this video, but we're only 2 weeks at this point away from Superman 52, so the end of the story. So only literally 2 weeks from now, or from this issue, of finding out finally what is going on with is New 52 Superman going to be dying? Is he going to be staying alive? Insert song here. So let me know what you guys think. I know I keep on asking. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. To my 10 loyal viewers about what you think is going to happen. We know that there's a Clark Kent and a Superman in Rebirth. So let me know what your theories are on that whole thing. And let me know what you thought of this particular issue. Did you like the fact that Superman past and present have now met? Were you upset that the meeting wasn't a little bit more memorable? I mean, the cover makes it seem like they were going to have a lot more interaction. Probably going to be in the next issue, I would assume, next couple issues, because I'm kind of thinking that New 52 is going to give Pre-Flashpoint Superman his blessing to go ahead and keep up the mantle of Superman publicly at this point. So yeah, we'll have to see how that goes. So I just want to thank you guys for tuning in to this 6th installment of this series. Go ahead and, if you can, like the video, and please subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys next time for part 7 of the final days of Superman. Later.